Well, hello there, and welcome to the Gamers Roundtable, where we are gamers talking about games. We do this every week, so you can join in the live Q&A, join in on the conversation, talk with us. We love to hear from all the viewers. But we have a large cast today that's going to join us talking about games. We're going to start off with some news, or the games we're playing this week, our news pieces, and then we're going to get into our top 3 topic later on. This week's topic is our top 3 time sinks, so games that we've put the most time into, whether it's a game we like or not, but something that's just completely sucked all of our time out of our days. But before we do that, I'm going to go down the line and say hello to everybody that's joined us today, so you guys know the voices and the faces that you're going to be dealing with in this podcast today. All right, let's go down the line. Hello, Zach. Zach, thanks for joining.
What's up, guys? Good to be back. I think my beard's gotten quite a bit bigger since the last time you saw me. So, yeah, I'm not my expansiveness in games though hasn't gotten much bigger though. Just my beard.
Just my beard.
Just my beard.
That's all.
I like it.
Bearder.
I'm beardier than ever.
All right, and next we've got
back in
Eric.
action.
Hey, friends.
Eric from America. Hello.
Yeah, I'm from the great United States of America.
I just realized that America has Eric in it.
It does, actually, but not
America.
Never got that. I don't know why I never got that.
Yep.
Show's over, folks.
That's pretty the one that just made this amazing discovery.
Charles will be here all week.
We've got Charles. Hello, Charles. Thanks for coming back.
Hello. Also, hello. Brody, did you even start the episode with hello?
You didn't.
Hello.
You didn't even say hi.
He didn't even say hi.
boy.
He said hi. You
No,
guys
he
didn't do
didn't.
that?
He missed it.
Definitely didn't say
Okay, we're gonna
hi.
have to go back and watch that. Has anyone got like instant rewind or something?
All right, instant replay. Eric, you're a sports guy.
Yeah, we need an instant replay feature.
Yeah,
Come on,
Eric.
Google.
Eric, please help.
Please.
Yeah, I'll figure it out. Give me a week.
Become a Google Hangouts
Maybe
master.
it'll be like
And
a year and a couple months, like as long as it took me to figure out that Eric is part of America.
Yep. I am.
and
America.
joining us again for the second time, we've got Braden. Hello, Braden.
What's up? I'm working on my logo thing right now. My computer's being really slow. But you'll know all about
Logo
me.
thing.
You know you wouldn't know, Adam. You don't put real things on the bottom of your screen.
Yo logo.
The lower third, okay.
Oh, your
Thank you
YOLO
very
logo?
much.
Yo logo.
Third.
Yo logo.
Well, I'm sorry. That
Bro.
stuff just asks for full access to your account. It's kind of a bit much for a ticker on the bottom. In my opinion.
Seeing as I put
Please provide us with your social security number.
absolutely not, do not care.
That's totally fine.
And the headless voice at the end that's conspiring against Google and also becoming a ad block, Adam. Hello, ad
I'm the
block.
president of Canada. That's all you need to know.
Is that because you've got Canadian Tire money for
That's
your
right.
logo?
President of Canada. Forever and always.
Nice, I did it. Oh, it's backwards.
It's backwards on your
Yeah.
screen, but it's forward on our screen.
It looks backwards on yours, but it's forward on ours, so you're good.
So now that it's reversed it, is it now not forwards on your screen?
Guys, one time I didn't go fast.
Okay.
But you gotta, man. You gotta.
Back to me. I'm Max, host of the show. I'm going to try to keep these hooligans in line. I'm going to remove this to try to smooth up my video and audio. Discussion started up here. Make sure you join in the live Q&A so you can join in on our conversation. And get ready. We're going to find out what we've been playing this week. So we're going to start at the other end of the line this time, and ask Adam what he's been playing this week. Anything new, interesting?
So are you asking who?
We have a different order, so we don't know.
Backwards, Adam, go.
Okay, so I've been playing more Guilty Gear Xrd, of course, and losing a lot as it goes.
Yeah.
Bloodborne came out, check that out, and you know, some cheap stuff because it's more fighter flighty than other From games. So yeah, lots of time sinks there. Same old, same old.
Right on, right on. All right, and then I guess next, Braden.
Next, we've got Braden.
Oh, there we go. He's back. Okay, cool.
Hey, what's up?
Sorry, we'd never hear you.
Braden, anything new and interesting?
Well, it was a pretty busy week for me, but in the time that I did have, I actually went to someone's house in town, Eric Taylor, who's a Tetris grandmaster, is the what we call the Taylor Tetris Mansion. And I was playing a lot of puzzle games, a lot of fun different puzzle games, mostly Tetris Attack. Down at his place downtown. It's pretty fun.
Tetris Attack. You're all about the puzzle games.
Cool.
I'm much better at puzzle games than fighting games. I'm still not even that good at puzzle games. I just fun. I have fun with them.
Hey, it's
Well,
whatever
I
you
mean, in every game a puzzle, you just have to hit all the buttons in the right order.
Sure, that's what
Every
it is.
game ever.
Puzzle games are just more colorful. Really, that's all it
Have
is.
you played
That's all it
Puyo
is.
Puyo?
Sorry?
Puyo Puyo Tetris?
Oh, that game is friggin' stupid. I'm so bad at it. I can't switch between games like that so easily. For anyone who doesn't know, that's like a game. It's a game where you start out playing random. The game will switch you over to playing Puyo Puyo, and then we'll switch you back. So there's like two people, and you're just trying both of them simultaneously. It's pretty hilarious.
That sounds ridiculous. Is it
It's-
on a system or is it just on just on?
It's on PS3.
Okay.
It's
Yes.
on
Import only.
PS3. I think. Oh yeah, it's import only. But I was playing an imported copy at Eric's house, so it was all good. I hope they release it on the PSN or something soon, because it was a lot of fun. I was just really bad at it.
Fair enough. All right, and we didn't get to hear what Charles was playing last week, as he wasn't here. So hopefully he's going to have some exciting games he's been playing last few months that we haven't.
And he's
seen.
gone.
And it's gone forever. Okay. So I have been playing for the most part in my, what was it, like 3.5, 4 month hiatus.
Yeah, it was a while.
That was a long time. Mostly the game that I've been playing is Dota 2. And this week I was also playing Dota 2. I actually played Dota 2 for an eternity on Thursday. I had the longest game ever, an hour and 44 minutes. At about the 90-minute mark, we, as both teams, had like firmly agreed with each other that we have all died, and this is now we're in purgatory. This game was hell, basically. The enemy team just would not give up, and we had advantage on them the entire game, and they just sat in base and turtled for 40 minutes.
That's got to be a lot of fun.
Battle of Helm's Deep.
Basically. Oh my god.
Never give up. Never surrender.
Remember what Bert the Turtle did today. That's what this video is all about. Duck and cover.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't work. They lost, but you know. And we tried.
Didn't work for Bert the Turtle either.
Oh man. All right, E-Rock, what have you been playing lately?
Just Resident Evil Revelations.
Oh yeah, tell us how you really feel about that.
Oh, I really don't like it at all. The story is so, like, literally my 10-year-old sister could write a better narrative for that story, and that's saying a lot because my sister's very creative. So I'll give you the quick premise of it. So it's all the big name guys in it. Jill Valentine, Claire's in it. Fucking Barry's in it. A couple other Chris Redfield's in it. So you got all the big names, running around. Anyway, you're on a ship, so it's kind of like a game for PS2 that I actually enjoyed. I don't know if any of you played it. It was called Cold Fear.
No, I never played that one.
Yeah, it was a PS2 title. It was actually very good. You should check it out if you haven't. But anyway, to make a long story short, you're on a boat. You're running around. You're trying to get saved. Chris Redfield's like, I'm going to fly in there in a chopper and fucking evac you guys out. And then, like, he lands on the ship, and then you play as Chris, and you play for, like, 4 hours running around looking for Jill on the ship. And then you're like, oh, wait a minute. I'm on a different ship. And then that's the end.
Revelation! Revelation.
I swear to God.
Spoiler, the revelation is you fucked up the rescue.
Yeah. The revelation is that there were 2 boats the whole game, pretty much. That's the revelation.
But how do you feel about How do you feel about Revelations 2?
Well, Revelations 2 I like. No, there's no boats.
No boats. What's the point?
Wait. You haven't beaten it yet. You don't know.
Yeah, well, that's very true. I haven't beaten it yet, so.
Oh man.
No.
We'll check.
Just watch it. Revelations 2 will have twice as many boats.
No, I've played some of 2, and there's no boats, so I'm cool with that.
Oh man.
You know when they released that game?
Okay, so that.
Nah, never mind.
What? Yeah, that's all I got, man.
Right on. All right. Well, I guess we'll go to me since Brody's not here. So I myself have been playing.
I'm here. I just don't know why it's lagging.
Brody's having an existential crisis.
You moved to your tablet, dude. What were you expecting?
No. I'm still on my laptop, but I closed everything on the laptop, and I'm using the article on my tablet, so it would run smooth.
Welcome.
I see.
Brody, I have an idea. My years of network experience have told me to shut off the network adapter on your laptop and then turn it back on again. For some reason, that's been working for all of my devices lately.
I think the actual issue is that it's trying to jump between, like, it's trying to play different, like, so many different videos at once from you guys, and it's just not handle it.
You can't handle it, son.
I can turn my video.
Yeah. No, that's all right. We'll just we'll get Zach though to tell us what games he's been playing.
Yeah, I've been rocking Dying Light quite a bit lately, and it's funny because we were talking about Resident Evil with Chris Redfield because the main character is voiced by the same guy who does Chris Redfield. So every 5 seconds, I'm like, yo, Umbrella's gonna come out of the woodworks with this. There's zombies and there's Chris Redfield. But then also, I am convinced now that Chris Redfield is a racist. He was killing black guys before, and now he's killing brown guys. He's a racist, man. Like, there's just no way around that.
Well, they're trying to kill him.
He is racist as ordered.
Hold on a second. In a previous game, was he killing white guys?
Well, yeah.
Bam! Done. That doesn't make a racist anymore.
Well, I mean,
That's
weren't
a
they,
lot.
But he hasn't killed it. He hasn't
weren't they
killed
just
any
all
Asians
gray at
yet.
that point?
So maybe Asians are the only people he likes.
He hasn't been able to find Ada Wong. Once he does,
They just need to set a Resident Evil game in East Asia, and then
There you go.
there's no doubt about it. He's no longer a racist.
But I've been playing a lot of that. That's actually, it's been fun. It's actually like relatively difficult, I find. So I've been enjoying it. It's nothing like mind blowing, but it's definitely like time killing, right? Like I enjoy it, but it's not like I'm like, oh, this isn't the best game I've ever played, but it's definitely by far not the worst. And then aside from that, I've been, yeah, exactly. It looks great. It looks and plays well. It's just like it's a sandbox game, right? Like it's like, oh, go to this place, pick up this medicine, bring it back to this guy, go kill this guy, bring back his item to set. Like that's all it is, right? And then other than that, I've been playing a ridiculous amount of Pokemon lately. The Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, like it's sickening. I've trained like 6 full teams to level 100 in the last like month. It's crazy.
Nice work.
Mm-hmm.
Now all you have to do is just find a place that'll pay you to do that, and then you have your dream job.
Yeah, pretty
your
much.
goal.
Pretty much.
I don't think I would train Pokemon all the way to level 100 for real money.
Why wouldn't you? You would just do it for the sake.
I-
Like if you could do
You
anything, that
literally
enjoy
press A like the entire game.
Well, actually, yeah. Now that I think about it, maybe for real money I would.
You'll do it for Monopoly money, though. That's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Not for Monopoly money. Never.
Okay, well, yeah, that's it. That's for me. That's all I've been doing recently.
Awesome. And then to me, I guess I haven't really been playing much this week, to be honest.
Trader.
Just been busy with. I guess I have jumped on and played some GTA lately. A friend came over, did some heists and stuff together. It was more of, as you said, just kind of a time killer. Just to sit back and relax. Been very busy with a lot of other stuff, so haven't been playing too much. I'm looking forward to hopefully this week playing time for it. So.
I hit top.
In there.
Yeah, I hit top 5 in our Smash Wii U last night for the first time. So boom. So I've been playing that too.
Yeah, man. I did terrible.
Ooh yeah.
Actually, now that I think about it, I did best in Smash Wii U of all 3 games. So I guess it doesn't really matter.
Booyah!
There we go. Alright, I guess that means we can move on to a couple news pieces here. I've got a couple, and I know that Zach and Braden have some, so I'll throw it over to them at that point when I get to those ones. But first up, one of the ones I know, particularly one person in this discussion would be upset, but the Zelda Wii U has been delayed. They video saying that it was supposed to be obviously released in 2015, as I said before, but as finally started going into the game and plunging into this open world, they can do with the game, and they just set the game better and have more content in it of meeting a deadline. So the priority, number one, of meeting a deadline has dropped, and priority of making the game with as much content as they can put into it, priority number. I think most people can be okay with that.
That's the way every game should be, man. That's it.
But can't they early access game?
You know what? You know what other game did that? Metal Gear Solid.
What was it? Ground Zeroes?
Ground Zeroes is a separate set of missions, though.
I don't know. I think the factor that they're actually taking the time to build a whole game, not release a top quality product, is the way it should be. That's the way any game developer should make. How much does it suck when you get a game and you're super excited to play it, and then it's it's good, but you can tell that there's bugs and there's crazy issues, and it's just it's.
Oh, you mean like?
Yeah, but I'm a consumer. I want to exercise my right to complain.
The best, right?
Yeah.
Yes, fair enough.
I hope you didn't play Grand Theft Auto when it came out.
Oh yeah, we'll release heists sometime.
Mm,
Heists were the new Duke Nukem Forever.
no.
Yeah. Heists are actually pretty fun.
But that's the thing, though, right? Evil Within did that as well, right? I was really excited for that because it was the team who did Resident Evil 4. And, that game came out, and it was horrible. It was horrible. And then they did a bunch of patching and fixing some stuff, and then it's I liked it now, but I'm glad that I waited. But it's just that's the thing. Don't release a game until it's good to go, man. Just take your time. If the fans really like it, they'll wait. And that's it. And I think especially with a game like Zelda, take as much time as you want, man. You're not gonna lose Zelda fans because you're taking too long. That won't happen.
True.
Yeah, no, it makes sense. I think it's great that they of this situation too. It's not just a statement. They had someone go on screen, say this is what's happening, this is what we want to do, and we apologize for the delay. It was done right.
Very professionally.
Very
professionally done.
I like how they did it.
I remember when I was waiting for Smash Brothers Brawl to come out and they delayed it like 3 times. I was so angry, but like when it finally came out, I was happy. So.
Well, it's not like it's unexpected with the Zelda games because like what Zelda games have not been delayed?
That's true.
In reality,
That's
right?
true.
I think almost every major
That's a good question.
Zelda game after
Was
Wind
Ocarina
Waker
of
has
Time
been delayed.
delayed?
Oracle of Ages.
I think I
The
read
DS
somewhere
games
that
weren't
Majora's
delayed,
Mask
but they
was the
damn
only
sure
one
should have been.
What?
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
So,
Right.
So the next piece of the next news thing I have in here is that you and Sarah have a PS TV as well as Vitas.
That we do.
There's a new glitch with the PS4 newest update that allows you to stream video. So before you couldn't. I think there's no Netflix, there's no Hulu, no Amazon Instant on the Vita or the Vita TV, and you also couldn't stream it. When you tried to stream it, it would like with using the second screen feature, it would just say content blocked. You can't view it on. And now there's actually a workaround with the new rest feature on the PlayStation 4, and quick describe it to you so you can try it. But I'm sure now that it's been published, it's probably going to be patched out pretty fast. But you can try it if you want. So, 4 quick steps. When you're on your PS4, launch the video streaming service that you would like to view through your Vita or PlayStation TV. After the app has launched on the PS4, press the PS button on the controller and go to the power menu, select rest mode. After letting the system go into rest mode, use the PlayStation Vita or the TV to boot up the PS4 with Remote Play. Once Remote Play is started, go directly to that video app and you should be able to see the video content on your TV or your Vita.
So, is this a news story to discuss or a tutorial?
It was kind of more of just a bit of information.
Oh, PSA.
To any viewers or anybody.
Well, but
more of a PSA than anything.
I know that Hulu doesn't have a Vita app, but Netflix does. You can watch Netflix on your Vita.
Yes, but on the Vita
Never
TV, and that there's no Hulu or anything, right? So it's more so for anybody with those other services besides Netflix.
Oh, I see. So like Hulu,
you want to give it a try.
Crunchyroll and stuff.
Yeah. So hopefully they won't patch it out, but who knows if they will.
I think for legal
anything
reasons
else, like,
they'll have to patch it out, won't they?
Well, it's weird because it's only third-party apps that it's working with. So it's any first-party apps, it's not. So it I don't know. It's weird that they got through. Maybe they're testing it to try it.
Well, chances are, if it's a third-party apps that's doing that, then some sort of change in the code sort of like changed something that was within the app's code, and now the people who made the apps will have to go in and change stuff.
That's true. Anyways, I just thought it was neat. Give it a try. My last piece of news I'm excited for. Halo 5 got an official launch date with actually 2 promotional trailers. They're kind of nifty. Both trailers are set in the same setting, but the way they play out are completely opposite. So it gives me the idea that you'll be able to play through the campaign through the perspective of both these characters, Master Chief.
That's confirmed.
It is confirmed? Okay, cool.
Master Chief and which?
The protagonist. Yeah.
The guy from the TV show who they want to push on everyone. My original character, do not steal. That one. My original Master Chief, do not steal.
Do not steal. Well, yeah, anyways, release date for that, October 27th, 2015, if I read the date right. It was in American format, so it got a little confusing for me. But October 27th, 2015 is our official launch date for that.
It's not my birthday. I'm so disappointed.
It's just after my birthday. So.
Cool, I'm so excited for another Halo.
Hey, Aaron actually really good to play them. They're awesome. The stories are good.
Huh?
I like playing as the bad guys in Halo 2.
Who said that?
All right, there's a couple news ones after here. I think Braden and Zachary. So I'm going to throw it off to Zachary. I didn't have time to check his articles out, so you'll know them better than I. So if you want to go over them and let us know what's going on with these pieces here.
Yeah, this isn't like super, like it's kind of video game related, kind of not, just super cool nerd stuff. So Square Enix has a line of action figures that they do called Variant Arts. Really, really, really nice figurines that they do. I posted a link there in the chat, Brody, if you wanted to maybe throw that up to our viewers. They're putting out Star Wars ones right now, so it's Square Enix's take on Star Wars characters. So right now they previewed Darth Vader, a Stormtrooper, and Boba Fett, and I'm not gonna lie, the figures look like they look boss. Like those character designs are unbelievable. So it just goes to show what like the guys at Square Enix can do, and just something simple like character design and revamping a character. Like Darth Vader looks like such a badass. It's crazy. Yeah. Like they look really, really well done. So I mean, the character art, it's just it's pretty cool, and it's nice to see somebody like Square Enix. Like they've done stuff like this. They've done variant arts figures of like Marvel characters and stuff like that. But this is a pretty big thing to tackle, like Darth Vader and stuff, right? So
okay,
I think
for the viewers, I did put it in the showcase there, but these what they really remind me of, I feel like they would fit perfectly in the Arkham series, the Batman Arkham series.
So actually, I have something related to that. I'll just post a link. Have you ever seen Nomura's Batman?
Yes, I did see that one. That one was wicked.
Yeah.
That one was wicked. Yeah, that's kind of the same thing, right? The same sort of style. Yeah, it's really good. I just like seeing their Square Enix's character designs. So they've done some pretty stupid things, in my opinion, in the last little while. Well. Me, Adam, and I were talking last night about like we were talking about the whole Final Fantasy VII on PS4. It supports. It's just like how you can see everybody in the crowd's heart break at like one single moment, and like how like the president of like Square Enix was just completely oblivious to like how upset people were. It was But anyways, they did a good job on these, so I'll give credit where credit is due. And yeah, so that's pretty cool. Another piece that I wanted to share. So I mean, obviously we've been doing this. We took a little bit of a hiatus, but Gamers Roundtable since last E3 has been covered a lot of stuff, and a big topic that we've had has been the console war. I remember us talking about Destiny, how like Destiny's players on PS4 were getting like exclusive content that Xbox One players couldn't. So now Backlash that's happening, well not Backlash, but like complete opposite. The DLC, first DLC for Inquisition launched, so Dragon Age Inquisition, which is a huge title, won a bunch of Game of the Year awards. First DLC, Xbox One only, right? Sorry, Xbox One and PC only. No tentative dates for PS4 yet. In fact, it's like I gotta find the link for it, but it's been very clear that they're not even allowed to mention PS4 right now. Whenever they refer to PS4, they just refer to it as other platforms. So it just goes to show that this console war, like it's like. It's super cheesy, but like the only people that are losing out in the console war right now are the consumers. Like it shouldn't matter which platform you prefer to play on. Like the content should be available. I can understand like exclusive titles, but if it's the exact same game, like and you like just put it out on both. Like it's ridiculous.
Well, Microsoft,
because the industry wants you to buy both games and both platforms because they make more money that way.
Plus, Microsoft was too cheap to shell out for full exclusivity. They're just too cheap.
Yeah, plus they stuck.
But like But that's the thing, though. It's like I'm not going out and paying another $400 and then another $80 on top of that to get a whole other system in Dragon Age. I love the game.
Yeah, but
no, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it.
Yeah, but do it though.
No, you have to stick it to the man. You have to show them that you are not going to stand for this.
Smoke.
No, it's just like it's just I don't know. It's the whole thing's just getting ridiculous, getting absolutely ridiculous. So, I don't know.
I know there's a lot of people. Anybody watching? Sure, people are just shouting out or whispering at the moment. PC Master Race.
Yep, PC Master Race.
But that's the thing, though, right? It's like we were having that conversation last night.
Oh God, don't get into this crap.
Yeah.
But it's not crap. I'm not going to go
into
it. No, it's just literally, it's just preference, right? Like that's just the way I see it. Like,
well, you can prefer the wrong platform. It's okay.
I think as long as people are playing games, they're on our side.
But yeah, that's just my. But yeah, and then so yeah, I don't know. That's just my whole thought on the whole thing. Then the last thing that I had on there, I had actually one other point I'm going to make after too. Sorry, it's going to be quick. But there's a local video game store. I forget exactly where it was I think I want to say like Sacramento or something. They were having like a swap meet style thing, like where a bunch of video game collectors come and hang out and discuss video games and swap games and stuff. It got swatted, so more swatting going on. And the United States government though is like they're actually like the penalties for this, like they're ramping it up. It's gonna start being severe. They're gonna start counting it as like an act of terrorism or something like that. Like it
effectively is just getting one person.
Yeah, but it's like
in one person, yeah,
or one household or something.
Sorry, so like 30 years ago, when you got a crank call to the police that there's a hostage situation, what did they do?
Oh, I don't know.
20 years ago. Maybe the problem isn't necessarily just in the crank call, but the response to it. But that's an uncomfortable question. So
that's true.
Well, I don't know what it is in the U.S., but in Canada, if you falsely contact emergency services, there's a pretty serious fine.
Mm-hmm.
I think
I'm the president of that place.
Yeah, exactly. It's what, like $500,000?
Yeah, and that's the thing, right? They need to.
It's like your entire year's wage if you don't have a good job.
Yeah. Like, and that's the thing, though, right? Is that like if they need to treat it like these kids are just being a bunch of but they're being a bunch of fucking cocks, and they're getting away with it, right? Like, so it's just absolutely ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
I too like eating chicken.
Where's our resident American? Eric, you're required.
What do you want to know?
Your president.
Eric, as our American representative, do you know of any fines or criminal charges pressed against you if you falsely contact the police?
Yeah, I mean, if you call 911 and like hang up, like if say I just dial 911, right, and I just hang up real quick, like they'll you still have a cop sent to your house.
Oh yeah, you still have that. But like, what if you call 911 and like falsely present with an emergency situation?
Oh yeah, dude, that's a felony. You're going to jail.
So, can you demonstrate that for us right now?
Please don't go to jail. We will lose our only American.
Let's swat Eric.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, try it.
Try it, bro.
Shh, Google is listening.
He's at his front door just ready, all barricaded up.
Oh, man.
Don't mess with the NSA, man.
All right, and then my last piece of news, because this is something that I just saw like literally within the last couple minutes. Everybody who knows, a couple months ago, like I was like the amiibo guy on here. I have recently abandoned collecting amiibos. Like it's crazy. It's way too much, and I'm done. I'm out of the game. I'm retired.
The game.
I'm like, what is it? I'm like Jay-Z. I'm retired, and then maybe I'll get back into it later on when it benefits me, or I need money.
Half a year into amiibos, you're already retiring.
Dude, you have no idea, man. I showed up to a Toys R Us at 7:30 a.m. The store didn't open until 9:30, and there was already a lineup of 30 kids.
What to get what
30
amiibo?
kids? 30 kids and
Yeah, but
one
this,
Zach.
but this is in Canada, where all of the retail organizations are closing, so we're running out of options here.
It was because it was the Lucario, the Toys R Us exclusive.
Oh, yeah, Lucario, that'll do it.
Do it.
Yeah. So,
Lucario.
anyways,
Yeah, the knockoff
Dude.
Mewtwo.
to show how far this whole amiibo collecting thing is going, a Kickstarter just hit its goal. So it is going into production. They are making protective amiibo cases to seal your already inbox sealed amiibo, to seal it even better and protect it even better. It was Kickstarter that I think it was like they were asking for like $30,000 or something like that. It's good to go.
So they made a box to put a box in.
Yeah, and it got funded. It got funded, and it's happening.
They couldn't just like put it in like a Ziploc or Tupperware container or something like that.
Oh, but that doesn't look good.
This is reminding me of the protective banana
Yeah.
cases that you put in your lunch.
The banana bunker.
Zach.
What?
Are you talking about the collector cases for Amiibo by High Class Retro?
Yes.
So yeah, it's a box that goes around the actual Amiibo retail case. It's a clear
Yeah.
box.
Yeah, exactly.
Not around
Yeah.
the Amiibo, but around the packaging that the Amiibo came in.
That's exactly what I'm saying. Yeah, it's like a box to go around the box that you had the amiibo in.
That
That's
said, you
wax.
get 6 of them for $24, so that's like whatever, or for $20, so whatever.
But it's a box to put a box
Yeah,
in.
but people get boxes for their Super Nintendo game boxes and shit like
but
that.
Super Nintendo games have existed. Some of them have been around for
Yeah.
20 years, and we know they're going to appreciate. Like, Nintendo's already said, hey, North America, you missed out on Marth? Well, he's coming again. Like, these people are going crazy. We don't know if these things are ever going to appreciate. And, I mean, fucking kick me in the ass if they do, because I was sitting on all of them, but I really, honestly, like, Nintendo's smart. They're not going to be like, oh, my God, we have, like, 80 million things that people want. We're just not going to do it. No. Like, screw that. No, of course, they're gonna be smart, and then when the next Star Fox game comes out for Wii U, you're gonna see a shit ton of Foxes come out. When they do a new Animal Crossing, Villagers back on the market. They said, with the new Fire Emblem game coming out, Marth's coming back out. They're gonna
Oh yeah.
Marth.
But it's not going to be Smash Bros. Marth. It's going to be Fire Emblem Marth, and that's going to be different.
We'll see. We will see.
That matters to the crazies.
Oh my goodness. This
Well,
is
we will
exactly
see.
how they're going to make all of the money that they've been losing recently. It's just like, we're going to release small bundles.
Oh, so you know what they're releasing? Just coins instead of actual figures.
Yeah, just the NFC chip and a coin. Yeah.
Pogs are back, baby.
Wow, that's
Pogs are back.
Alf's back, but in Pog form.
That's awesome.
you bring Pogs back while they're at it.
The craziest comeback of all time, like 20 years in the making. It's back.
Nintendo Pogs. Oh my
One more
god.
Pog?
And they're gonna have little chips in it that when you use your slammer and you spike it, it's gonna make that Mario coin noise for how
Oh
many
my
you
God.
knock over.
Patent that
I have
shit
one of those
now.
things
Somebody
that
needs to
can
patent
press
that
it.
immediately.
I'm doing my own Kickstarter, boys. That's it. We're doing it.
Nintendo Pogs by Zach from Canada.
It's okay. I'm not gonna get sued. It's not like we do T-shirts or anything with their characters already.
No,
anyway.
see, what you need to do is you need to make it like an off sound so they can't properly sue you.
There you go. There you go.
Just raise the pitch like half a like a semitone. You'll be fine.
You guys aren't thinking capitalist enough. You put a little sheet of paper in the thing next to the speaker that the customer can rip out, but the retail thing doesn't say they can rip it out.
Mm.
That way, best of both worlds.
Oh, that's smart.
The
why
president
I'm
of Canada is
president.
trying to become the
That's why
president
I'm
of the world
president.
right now.
That's why he's got all the Canadian Tire money right here.
Yeah, you guys have all that internet money. You might as well do something.
Okay. All right. That's it for me for news, guys. I'm done.
Alright,
I think
now that we've talked about news for 4 hours, can I just bring up the fact that a guy in some city and a town, remade the entire first level of Super Mario 64 in HD, and it's fucking boner.
Oh,
Yeah, I saw that.
The
I actually
the
did see
playable
that.
version of Mario 64, I think it was
He
called.
made it in the Unity engine.
It's friggin' sick.
Yeah, it's nasty as shit, and I got a boner when I saw it.
Did you guys ever see here in the KW folks? You ever see the one that Steven did for the Oculus Rift?
Nope.
I didn't know he did one.
Yeah, he did. So the boss of my store, he actually rebuilt on the first level of Mario 64 on no, sorry, not the first level. My bad. The castle. He built that for the Oculus Rift.
I'll need to talk to him
So-
about that. That's so cool.
Is this the Super Mario 64 video from like January?
I don't know. It just came out on
'Cause,
like Facebook.
I remember it
I
looked.
just saw it the other day, so I think it's new.
I remember it looked like Mario was all shiny and stuff like that. Because he was using the Brawl model inside Unity Engine.
No, it wasn't the Brawl model.
Brawl Mario wasn't shiny.
Or sorry, Galaxy, I think it must have been.
Just low tier.
I don't know. Either way, it looks cool, and you can look it up on YouTube. Just search Unity Super Mario 64. Well done.
Yeah, check it out.
Um,
I like it.
it's because we know you love it, Eric. Just I think a couple more pieces. I think Braden, you had a news piece there for us.
Yeah, I guess we're not going to hear much discussion on it because I think I'm the only person in the video chat who really cares about it. But called Tonic Games recently making a successor to Banjo-Kazooie and the N64 Rareware games. So essentially, it's going to be they're calling it Project Ukulele right now. I'm sure it's going to get a real name. Basically, it's a colorful characters. One character I think is actually resting on top of the other character, evidenced by the screenshots. And it's going to have a hub world and collectibles in each open world, separate levels. And they're getting a lot of old Rare employees that have long since gone now that the apocalypse of Rare Connect sports games has ensued.
The Kinpocalypse.
Yes, that's what we'll call it. The Rare Kinpocalypse.
The profitable apocalypse, sadly.
Oh, I don't think they're making. Are they really making profit off of those?
Oh yeah, that shit made a shit ton of money for them. Most
Wow,
successful Connect games.
That's brutal. Why does this exist? Anyways, yeah. So what excites me as a musician and someone who enjoys video game music is that the two composers for the game are.
Who?
He'll be back. Don't worry.
Yeah.
What did you say?
What happened? Did something happen?
You disconnected, bro.
That's not cool at all. Am I okay now?
Oh yeah, we can hear you now.
Okay. David Wise and Grant Kirkhope are the two people who are going to be working together to compose the game. It's kind of like if Superman and Batman are working together to save the world.
What,
It's
they
like-
just argue all the time and not get anything done because they're pieces of shit, nobody likes them, and DC's fucking stupid? Oh, that?
We're not talking about Spider-Man
I am
here.
literally
Relax.
only making an analogy here.
No, it's a bad one.
He came out to have fun, and he's honestly feeling so attacked right now.
Literally, I just thought it. Okay, I know you're a Marvel guy. I'm
I'm
to
just
make
fucking
this
with
argument
you.
right now.
It's okay. Some people have bad taste. It's okay.
I know you're a Marvel guy. I won't argue about this right now. But yeah, it's David Wise being the composer for Donkey Kong Country, and Grant Kirkhope being the composer for Banjo-Kazooie, and Donkey Kong 64, and GoldenEye, and a bunch of other games. And two of my favorite composers of all time working on a spiritual successor to one of my favorite games, my favorite kinds of games. So it's a big deal to me. I don't think anyone else cares, but I care, and maybe someone watching will care, and that'll just make me happy anyway, I guess. So that's all I really had to say about it. It's looking cool. If you can find the screenshots, go look at them. They're pretty sick.
All right.
Sweet.
And then I found two more pieces on mine here. One, actually, they're related to the same thing. The PlayStation Yakamura update recently just came out on the 26th, and then also the Xbox April update is around. So for the Xbox, just to detail, just so people know what's going on, Xbox is adding, they got voice messages. So the Xbox One preview program members will be able to compose and play back voice messages in the message app when snapped on Xbox One. Dedicated servers for the party chat, so that you get rid of NAT issues and stuff like that, so it's more reliable. And then the What's On, the Xbox engineering team is continuing to experiment with What's On area, which highlights popular videos, movies, and TV shows and game broadcasts, in case you care about that. And then the PlayStation 4 2.5 update, also titled Yakamura, came with a lot of stuff, and that's where that actual glitch comes from for the Vita and the TV. They added suspend resume, so you can suspend your game just where it is, turn it off, it'll suspend it, you can leave, go do your stuff, come back, turn your PlayStation 4 back on, and the game will be right where you left it off. You don't have to reboot the game up or anything, which is a really, really sweet feature. They've been testing it out. I think most games are taking about an average of 30 seconds to boot back up, but to be honest, that's way faster than having to reboot the PlayStation system and then start the game up, connect to the services and all that. So it's that's a pretty sweet feature. Backing up, restoring to the your hard disk drive to USB, that's useful. Find and connect with friends. So just have better ways to connect to your Facebook friends to add more people. You know how they love the social stuff. Share your earned trophies and optimize your trophy list. So they take automatic screenshots of the moment you earned the trophy. You can share it to like Facebook, individual trophies and stuff. Improved and expanded accessibility options. So there's new text-to-speech on it. So you can have the system read out the text on your screen now. Bigger fonts and large text, custom. Oh, you can. This is the coolest thing. You can now customize the button assignments on your PlayStation controller. So you can remap all the buttons on your controller. Which I think is pretty cool. Remote play and share play is now supporting 60 frames per second. So you can play games that support that. Automatic installation for your system software updates. Sub-account upgrade, all your non-master accounts can be upgraded to master. Verified accounts for game developers, producers, and designers. So I guess we're really trying to create a social network around the PlayStation Network, so you can browse through and see, oh, these are developers of these games, kind of like Twitter with their verified accounts. And Daily Motion has been added as an option to upload your video clips to, instead of Facebook and YouTube. So you have all three of those now. A lot of cool stuff for that. For both systems, PlayStation 1 definitely doing a huge overhaul.
Sweet.
Yeah. So
PlayStation 1 or PlayStation 4?
4. PlayStation 1's getting their update. It's about time.
I knew this piece of trash would be useful again someday.
Hey, watch your mouth. It was never a piece of trash.
Well, it is now.
I've never liked PS1, but that's pretty unnecessary of me to say. So.
Yeah, it wasn't necessary. What the hell?
Oh well.
So,
At least I didn't.
oh yeah, Hangouts.
What the hell was that?
So I'm just trying to let him finish. I can't tell.
I think that, yeah.
What's happening?
Basement situation.
Okay, so
I'm on wired internet right now, dude.
anyways, so the one thing I noticed with this PlayStation 4 update is that they talk about like remote play 60 FPS and streaming 60 FPS, but nothing about just recording a video at 60. Nothing about that. It's kind of weird.
Well, I think the reason they don't record at 60 is just due to the fact that it already takes up a lot of
Sure, but a 60 FPS 10-minute video is the same as the 20-minute video they let you get now.
Is that an exact like 1-to-1 ratio there?
Yeah, effectively.
Yeah, I guess if they gave you options to set limitings, it's just I don't want 20 minutes of.
Well, that's why it should be an option, right? That's the thing about consoles that usually gets me is their aversion to letting users have options when the problem of users fucking up was solved by having the advanced settings thing a long time ago.
Yeah, well, I think they're trying to go to that direction. As you saw, like even being able to remap your buttons on a console.
Yeah,
I don't
that's
think
important.
any console's been able to do that before.
Taken long enough. The one thing too with the Xbox, it's like, oh hey, voice messages. We're finally at feature parity with the 360. Oh wait, we're not. We're not. We're close, but we're not. It's like, come on.
Actually uses voice messages though in reality.
I do. It's useful
For what?
Nobody uses phones.
because it like sometimes you don't sit right next to your console, so you can't use the keyboard you got plugged in, or sometimes it's a pain, right? Certainly, if you're trying to say something lengthy or important, it takes longer.
I guess I've just gotten super effective at using the on-screen keyboard.
Yeah, but you're still typing super slow. If you want to fire off a message between the 10 seconds in between rounds in like a fighting game or something, you gotta be fast. Which the Xbox One is not.
Isn't that what party chat's for?
No, party chat's for people who are too afraid to talk to other gamers in the real world.
The real world being the not real world.
Well,
Ain't that the
The real world.
the slightly
gaming lobbies.
the slightly realer world, very slightly realer.
I guess so.
Hey, you know what? Considering the people who are generally in some gaming lobbies, especially in my time playing Call of Duty,
Call of Duty
there were
is the
some
exception,
people.
though.
I don't really
Like-
play. I never really played any other online games anyway.
Well,
but
yeah,
like,
there you go. Your
People are
reality
weird.
is distorted by Call of Duty.
yeah, fuck that game.
See, I've always said too, like a game like Street Fighter 4. When I was playing Street Fighter 4 heavily online, actually, I was super surprised by the community. I was expecting like Call of Duty style, like, oh fuck you, all you did was Shoryuken, and make me sound like because that's all I do anyways. But I would actually get people like sending me messages after rounds, being like, hey
Yeah.
man, good job. Hey, maybe you shouldn't Shoryuken as much at this point. Like, I would actually get messages of people being like, good job, here's how to improve. Or if I won, they're like, oh man, like, you kicked my ass there, I didn't see that coming, blah, 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 you know? So, it's true, like, as Adam was saying, like, Call of Duty is just, like, it's the scum of the earth playing that game, pretty
Just
much. In
like
terms of,
MOBAs. Just
I think
like
it also
MOBAs.
depends on platform.
no, because I've had the same thing both on PS3 and Xbox 360. I've seen them both,
I've also had it in every game I've played ever.
Yeah, but maybe you're just the jerk.
I'm the jerk. No, see, I always take my time if I get wrecked. I take the time to send a message to people after saying, hey,
Kill yourself.
yeah, 1v1 me, bro. But no, I always try to congratulate people, or I've always had a good time on it. And if there is someone just being annoying, I just mute them.
Well, that's what I generally do, is I just mute people if I play Call of Duty, which I never do anymore. But yeah, it's just the mute button in that game. But I'm just saying, I found with like a game though, it was funny because exact same platform, but different game, completely different community, and completely different atmosphere with the people that you're dealing with.
Yeah, of course, there's different things. I've also noticed that it's almost worse on PC a lot of times, because you'll have these people just playing like the stupid bake a cake song over and over again. It's just, yeah, Adam's one of them.
Cake to bake a pretty cake.
But no, I don't know. I find it's annoying in its own way, right? It's its own humor though. I find PC gamers have their own type of humor going on.
I've just been too lazy to set up mic spam for this, but if I wasn't lazy, it would be done.
Oh my god.
I've got the clips. I'm just too lazy.
So like I don't know. I think it platform does depend too. But yeah, game to game. But I'm just kind of defending Call of Duty, but I don't think it's as bad. I don't think it's as bad as people make it out to be. It's the stereotype. So people Canadians
Brody,
say sorry all the
Brody.
time.
I hate to interrupt, but do you play Search and Destroy?
Do I play S&D?
Yeah.
From time to time.
That is, people say Call of Duty is the scumbag community of console games. Well, that is the scumbag community of Call of Duty.
Oh, that's like the worst of the worst?
Yeah.
Well, that's considered the competitive mode, right?
For
So
real?
it
That's
makes-
hilarious.
But yeah, between domination, S&D, and capture the flag.
That's for all the guys who fuck your mom play.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, that's why it should be called S&M, but
Yeah, everybody that tells you they fucked your mom, that's where they're playing.
including the one guy that was telling the truth.
My dad does play Call of Duty, I think.
No, I found between communities, I found a lot of time Xbox I find to be the younger group. I think though that's the system that a lot of the parents will buy their kids. I found PlayStation generally to be mid-20s to early 30s. A lot of the people I've met online have been in that age group, and then PCs obviously just kind of everywhere. But that's what I've always found with the communities. But again, everyone's experience can be different. But throughout my extensive years of research, that's what I've come to see. But yeah, I guess that hits us up for all of our news for this week. And at that point, that means we can move on to our topics. Just a reminder to all our viewers there that you can join in with the conversation with the live Q&A that we have. If you're on Google Plus, if you're not, if you're watching on YouTube, you can click that little button on the bottom right-hand corner that pops up that says you can join us on Google Plus, and then you can join the Q&A and give your input. Ask us questions. We'll answer to the best of our ability. But with that, we're going to move on to our topic. So I guess today we're talking about time sinks, the games that have caused us to put the most time into it, whether we wanted to or not. Maybe sometimes you'll look up from the clock and be like, crap, where did the time go? Or maybe it's a game that you just wanted to grind and grind and grind because that was your choice. So our most time-sinking games. I like to hear from the viewers too what games those are, either on YouTube or in the Q&A. So I guess we'll start at my screen at this end with Zachary. What's your number 3 then? The most time-sunk game.
So the reason I put this at number 3 is because it's not quite a game. It's like a franchise as a whole. Since I was a kid, moving up, I play every installment. So Pokemon, number 1 time sink for me in terms of a franchise. I've played those games religiously. At any point, I've had some sort of Pokemon game essentially in my handheld at that time. From Red all the way up now, even in the past couple weeks, I've just been grinding out teams on Pokemon Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. Whether it's catching all the legendaries, coming up with new strategies, breeding proper teams, things like that. Those games are actually a lot more complicated than people give it credit for. And I'll sit there for hours upon hours on end just playing Pokemon. It's pretty sad because I'm a 30-year-old man playing Pokemon and trying to get the perfect Pikachu ready to go.
That doesn't sound that sad to me. It sounds pretty fun.
But they're fun games, man. I've always enjoyed them, and I can just sit there. And the other good thing about those games too, I find, is that they're also a companion piece, right? So I can sit there and play Pokemon and watch Netflix at the same time and marathon through a couple episodes of a show and be training my guys 30, 40 levels, right?
Yeah.
So those games, and I mean every single installment that comes out, talking about the major titles, I'm not talking about the Pokemon Rangers or anything like that. But those, I will get every one, and I will play every one, and I will grind the hell out of it and make sure that I have pretty much every Pokemon possible to have, and try and make sure that I have one of every evolution group trained up to level 100. So I've sunk a lot of time.
Yeah. No.
I think on my Pokemon X, though, right now, I think my Pokemon X file has 130 hours in it, and I think my Pokemon Omega Ruby has about 100.
Jeez.
So.
Yeah, I also wouldn't be surprised, again, why I don't think it's sad, I wouldn't be surprised if other people, even in this chat here, would have Pokemon listed. as one of their time sinks. Because it is a lot of grinding.
And even like to some of our viewers and people that I know, I'm not even that hardcore into it either. Like I still
do EV training and all that.
I do the EV training. I'm now starting to do IV training. Like I've been developing strategies. Now I'm gonna go in and get to the nitty gritty and get the IV training. But I just wanted to get the proper strategies down first. But yeah, tons of hours into that. And just these the new two installments is over 200 hours in those games already.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah. And what I do is I have one title. So when an installment comes out, when Pokemon Y came out, I got Y, played through it the first time, and then I got a copy of X. And what I did is I used X as my training game and Y as my like Pokemon bank essentially, because the Pokemon bank feature is cool, but it's not perfect. And I just trade over, run them through the game, bring them back. Trade over. So yeah, it's ridiculous how much time I put in those games.
Yeah, fair enough. I'm curious as to what the next two will be then, if you already put that much into those.
Well, yeah, they haven't released anything yet. Usually at this point we know what the next Pokemon game.
No, I meant your next two on your list.
Oh, yeah. Trust me, yeah.
Yeah. All right, with that we'll go to jump over to Eric for his number 3 most time-consuming game.
For me, it would probably go to Final Fantasy X. That was the first. That was the first game that I really tried to not be a scumbag and cheat and like look online for like information about where, all the legendary weapons were and how to obtain them and some of the side quest stuff. I ultimately gave in and did it anyway, but I did try my hardest for a long time to complete everything, and that fucking butterfly part still haunts me to this day.
It was the lightning bolts for me, man. The lightning bolts.
Oh, dude, yeah, and the Thunder Plains, that was a joke. Yeah, you had to dodge like 100 of them, I think, or 120. It was something stupid where it literally would take you 3 hours to do it. If you fucked up.
Sorry, I was going to say, I actually know what you guys are talking about. Usually I don't when it comes to Final Fantasy. I saw a video of this guy. He figured out a system where he would just have his guy roll into this one specific corner, and he would dodge the lightning bolts over and over again, and he got it without having to do anything.
Well, what it is, though, so I know that strategy because I played through that game recently, the remastered edition on my Vita, and I know exactly what you're talking about, and it's still not foolproof. Like, you still have to time it properly. I was doing it recently, and I think it got to 87. I think Sarah was with me. I got to 87 and fucked up, and I literally, it took me everything that I had not to whip my Vita across the room.
This is what happened. I remember what happened, actually. So, before the lightning goes, the screen flashes, right?
Yeah.
So what this guy had set up, I think it was a Raspberry Pi, and he had a machine that would watch the screen. When it detected the frame that the screen flashed, it would send a delayed signal to this lever that would press the roll button at the right moment.
So what a jackass!
He built this automatic system.
So, by the way, it's 200 dodges.
That's it. Yeah, that's it.
I gotta show you guys that video, and I'll put it to the showcase too. But this guy set up a freaking robot to get him that.
What does it even get you?
You need 2 sigils for each character to get their ultimate weapon, and it's for Lulu. It's one of them.
Yeah, Lulu's not even that good anyway.
No.
We have a Q&A question from looks like the President of Canada. So I figure I'll throw this question over to our President of Canada. President of Canada, from 10 to 10, how much better is Batman than Spider-Man?
10.
Wow.
Good
Not
work.
true.
Good.
Also, I'm going to have to
I'm flabbergasted.
fire some people because Spider-Man destroys Batman.
Well, the question disagrees, and you can't question our audience.
This is a blind
I'm
system.
a Batman guy myself.
He's not a superhero!
Amen. Amen.
I can't believe it lets me ask a question on the same.
That's
I
great.
prefer Batman to Spider-Man mostly for the stories. I think the stories are better personally.
What? That he's a whiny asshole?
You clearly haven't read much Batman.
Aren't you talking about Spider-Man here, Zach?
Oh,
No,
yeah,
I'm talking about Batman.
that's very true. Spider-Man has a lot of that too.
Yeah, Spider-Man's also cooler.
Really?
All right. Who's
All right.
next?
Real talk, Charles. What's your number 3 most?
Well, yeah, that-
My number 3 is gonna have to be Borderlands.
Borderlands.
Borderlands 1 and 2, and
Didn't see that one
pre-sequel.
coming.
What?
Said I didn't see that one coming.
Borderlands, more like Borderlands.
I
That was so bad.
could hear my eyes rolling.
Yeah, so do you know how many hours you probably maybe estimated put into these games?
There was this one point where I may not have had a client that records the hours that I play the game in, though I've definitely played more than 100 hours outside of the client in Borderlands 1. And then on top of that, there's
That's true. Steve.
129 hours logged in Steam, and then 83 hours logged in Steam for Borderlands 2 and 42 in pre-sequel.
Holy shit.
That's quite a few hours.
Yeah.
That's a
Make it stop!
Well, the worst part is that I play this game solo, and this is why it takes me so long to do fucking anything, because it's just impossible. You have to, like, abuse the system and the AI in order to actually get things to, like, happen. Example, playing Borderlands 2, you had to play as the character with the sentry turret so that the turret could tank for you while you just go around and not die. Because for some reason your action skill is stronger than you. Makes you like a sidekick
That's weird.
to like the real hero who doesn't even move. Yeah,
Okay.
but it's fun to play with friends. I really wish that my friends would play it. And that's all I gotta say about that.
All right, yeah, that
I'll
makes
see
sense.
that
That Borderlands was on your list there. I think we should have expected it. You know how much you love it. All right, Brayden, you're number 3.
Okay, so I fixed internet and stuff, so hopefully this doesn't start cutting out on me.
It's all Batman's fault.
My number, jeez, Batman. You and your,
Come on, man.
I can't even think of anything witty to say about that, man. I got nothing. So my number 3, I sort of put it as a tie because my estimated hours in both is like pretty similar, and it's for the exact same reason. The 2 games I put were Banjo-Kazooie and Mega Man X, because those are the 2 games that I have gone back to the most times that I know the best. Like they're a video game, but I can't think of a video game to play, and it's usually either of those 2 are the first that come to mind. So it's just like instantly, well, I'll just play through Mega Man X again. It's easy. I have fun. I always have fun. I know what to do. And same with Banjo-Kazooie. So I'm constantly going back to those games. Probably completed I once completed Mega Man X like twice in a day, just because like, well, I'm gonna do it better this time. So.
You ever get
For the
speed running?
Mega Man X is a little above me for speedrunning. Like speedrunning that game is a little too intense for me. But Banjo-Kazooie is probably a game I could speedrun if I started putting more effort into it. I know some of the strategies.
You know what's really hard, and Brody will vouch for me, is trying to play Mega Man X when you're really drunk.
I wouldn't know how anything works really.
We did that. We went to the guild, and I was showing Brody and Sarah Mega Man X and how amazing of a game it was, and I was loaded, and it was like, I know that game like the back of my hand, and it was like, it was hard, man. Like, no, just the very last Sigma stage. I was like, what the fuck? I know what I'm doing. And then asked Brody, the minute that I had it, it was over. It was just done.
Well, I played Mega Man X on stream and had trouble, just because like now that I know people are watching me, I'm just gonna screw up every one of these platforms on the first Sigma stage. So, I bet playing drunk would be even harder for me.
So now you've learned a valuable lesson. Never care about anyone else ever.
These are lessons I should be learning early, so I could become the
No.
president of Canada when I grow up.
That's right, except I already have it, so back off.
Well, anyways, that's all it is. They're not typical games I'm back to, and they've taken up a lot of my time.
Yeah, fair enough. All right, that means we're on to the President of Canada. I wonder what the President of Canada spends a lot of his time.
Is it learn to type with the beavers?
You're thinking of Mavis Beacon teaches typing, or whatever the fuck it's called. And no, it's not.
She looks close enough.
She's not real. But anyways.
Really? So that's not an actually.
Beacon, no. Mavis Beacon is not a real thing. I don't know who's on the cover, but that's not Mavis Beacon.
They couldn't have at least made her name Mavis Beacon.
If only it was that simple. So yeah, number 3, I
President
guess.
of Canada, why?
You got cut off probably by my majesty. Now, basically number 3, I would say it would be a tie between Counter-Strike 1.6 and Halo 2, because it was just like, oh, high school, lots of free time. Oh, first-person shooters. Oh, Counter-Strike actually runs on my shitty old PC, and that's it. That's life.
That makes
That's
sense.
fair.
One
I
of the-
played a lot of Counter-Strike and Team Fortress Classic, like when I was younger. A lot of it.
Intel.
That's kind of how I put
Celeron.
a lot of Minecraft in the same way, or like SNES emulated games because I always had a bad computer.
Yeah, I think 1.6 was one of the most popular games when it comes to students at school, because that's all the school computers could run. They put it on their USB stick and just pop it in. I've done that plenty of times myself. I think that's how my buddy, well, our player Tyrish. I'm actually curious as to what his hours into Counter-Strike.
Well,
Well, you can look up his CS:GO hours.
That's true. I'd have to do that on my other computer though. Because I imagine they're quite up there. To a ridiculous amount, higher than probably anybody here has any of their games. All right, so for me, mine was tough for me to figure out because there's been a lot of games, more so when I was younger, and as I said in the last podcast, I didn't have as many other games to play, so I put a lot of time into like 1 or 2 specific games. So I tried to bring it down to 3 that are more, I'd say more like enjoyable for me. So of course there was Star Ocean to the End of Time. That was probably one of my first experiences with a JRPG back then, and it was my first time ever playing something like that. But it was just, there's so much to do with like their merchant system and all that I got so lost trying to get the trophies for clearing every level. Like there was a fog of war you had to clear, trying to clear that from every map. So I sunk a lot. I think I looked at my one save file. I think I had a couple. My one save file was between like 80 to 90 hours, I think, on it. And for me, and to someone with extreme ADHD and not having control over my ADHD, that was a lot of time into one game. Especially at like in a genre I've never really touched on before, and still don't really play much. So Star Ocean was for sure. Has any of our local RPGists, Zach, Eric, played Star Ocean?
I've only played Star Ocean: A Second Story for PS1. That's the only one I've ever played.
Yeah, this was the PS2.
Yeah, I played that one too. It was the same one that I played.
Yeah, see, I never even got to the second disc. There was 2 discs for it. I never even got to it. So I think I've been trying to pick it up again lately. I might want to try to stream it sometime too.
Good.
I'm gonna have to start probably from the beginning because I actually started up my save file, and I wish I could have seen the look on my face, but it was, what the was I doing? no idea what I was doing in this game or what, and I had to. It took me like 10 minutes to just figure out the buttons.
Mm-hmm.
I had no idea what was happening. But yeah, I want to go back. I love the characters. The character designs were my favorite in that game. Just really interesting, colorful characters. So yeah, that would be, I'd say, my number 3, just because it was the first game where I'd really noticed that I was spending a lot of time in a game. All right, that brings us back to Zach, and Zach's going to give us his number 2.
All right, number 2. I don't really want to admit it, but World of Warcraft, guaranteed. I played way too much World of Warcraft and trying to just do raids and gear up and like the thing is with that game, I'm surprised. It's been the longest I've been. I think it's been like 2 years since I've played. But like I would just go back to it. Like something will happen and I'll play it and I'll get so into it for like 3 months at a time and do nothing but play that game. And then I'll be like, this game's fucking stupid. Why am I doing this? It takes me forever to do anything. Fuck this game. And I stop playing it and I let my subscription run out and I go in and do other things. And then I'll meet fucking somebody will mention it. One of my buddies will be like, oh man, my God, I started playing WoW again. And I'm like, really? It's like crack, man. It's like you hear one of your buddies like, I'm playing WoW again. You're like, all right, man, I'm there. I'm going to transfer my character over to your server. We're going to fucking start a guild. We're going to fucking raid. And you just go. And that's all you... And it's fucking horrible. It's horrible. You sit there in front of a computer for like 12 hours a day, and you don't get anything done. Nothing happens. Like and you're waiting for this one drop, and you finally get it, and then literally what'll happen is you'll get that drop that you've been working for, and then you'll do another raid, and then all of a sudden you'll get another better. So it's like, what the fuck? Like it's just a progressive cycle of grinding, and that's all you do.
Modern video games.
Oh my God! It like I'm thinking back to it. I'm just like, why did I do that? And then now talking about it, I'm like, I kind of want to play again.
He's gonna install it after the show. He won't be. We'll be missing Zach for like 12 episodes.
Yep.
But yeah, World of Warcraft, man, like, me and my buddies, we would play, and that's the one thing I could always say with World of Warcraft. At least I played with, like, friends that I knew in real life, and the minute that one of us would stop, like, we'd all kind of stop, you know what I mean? Like, it was never fun to just play with guildies. Like, I always played with at least, like, people that I know, but, yeah, I sunk easily like hundreds upon like probably like if you log on to my main character in that game and you do the /time thing, I think it's like probably like 52 days, and that's like 52 days straight of playing.
Yeah, that's a lot of time. That's a lot of time.
I'm gonna go shoot myself now. Yeah,
I'm that's making you upped your number 3, and I'm really curious as to what number 1 could possibly.
Yeah, but see, okay, so number 1 for me though is going to be something that I did a lot of and enjoyed. Like,
okay.
No regrets. So.
WoW was a punishment.
That's not fair.
What do you mean not fair? Come on, man.
It's supposed to be by hours invested, man.
No, we never declared that.
Okay, you're right.
Yeah.
All right.
The president admits fault.
The president admits fault. This is what happens with democracy.
I didn't say I was elected.
I voted. All right, we have Eric to give us his number 2 then.
My number 2. I mean, I tried to figure out by going by hours, but then I kind of just focused on games that I knew little about when I started playing. And that kind of made me realize that Shadow of the Colossus was probably 2 for me. I was playing that game, you know, completely blind. Had no idea what it was about. You know, that was right before the time where you were, you know, every game was hyped up and there were reviews of everything online. You know, so a lot of times you were buying games kind of by the seat of your pants and praying for the best. And I had no idea really what to expect with that, and I didn't really know much of what was going on in the beginning. The story was very good, obviously, and some of those boss fights I remember being like, an hour, 2 hours long, some of them, and if you died at the end, like, you were starting that all over. So from a lot of the time spent dying and then having to redo a lot of the Colossi battles, obviously because that's what the game was, I think I invested a lot of time. And then I know I spent a lot of fucking time just riding around on the horse, just trying to find hidden shit, because I was convinced that there had to have been more to the game than just that. And there really wasn't, but so I rode around.
That's one of those games I still have to play. I've been wanting to. I on the other hand know what I'm getting into with the game. Like I haven't really seen much gameplay, but I know what the game's about. So a lot of people hyped it up for me.
So I got a spoiler for you. The Colossus do in fact have shadows.
Yep.
I would have expected that, seeing as that's the name of the
Spoiler.
game.
Yeah.
The game is not about. It's about the Colossi though. It's not about the shadows of them, unlike the title will have you believe.
Oh.
Yo, you never saw one Colossi penis in that entire game, and I'm a little perturbed by that.
How did they reproduce?
They would have one of them would have had penis of some. I mean, they were humongous monsters.
Can't really tell you without giving spoilers. Except shadows are involved.
They're shadows.
Well, don't octopuses have sex by like putting it into like a hole in the side of the head? Maybe it's something like that. Putting like the arm into the hole in the side of the head.
Yeah, maybe their genitals. Maybe
now we're talking about Colossi having children. All right, that makes sense. Charles, what's your number 2?
My number 2 is Dota 2. Or rather, Dota in general. Yep.
It is a big number, too.
I just took
it then. But I don't play Dota as much as, like, my friends do. I have a friend that has played over 3,800 hours of Dota.
Wow, is he a virgin?
I'm unsure. I'd have to ask. But I've only got a measly 266 hours, so...
That's
160 days, by the way. Well, 158.
In Dota?
What your friend has, yeah.
Oh, that's what he has?
Yeah, 3,800 hours, 158.
Is he like on a professional team at least?
No, he just plays Dota.
Just a virgin. That's all.
That's insane. Like, if I'm putting that much time into a game, I'm trying to be playing it for money.
No, he's pretty good. Like he's one of the better people that I know. But yeah, he just plays Dota.
Charles, do you agree with his time spent playing Dota?
Well, I mean, he's not wrong. He did play that many hours of Dota. It's just, I don't know. I feel like there's just so much to that game to learn, but I don't like random people on the internet playing with them because they tend to be either really bad or have a really warped sense of what they're supposed to do with this game, and then nobody's happy.
Play random, right? That's what you're supposed to do.
Yeah,
they're just dickheads.
Yeah, lots of dickheads on the internet.
Yep. All right, well, that makes sense. Yep. That's not surprising that Dota would be on a list somewhere.
Yep.
Brayden, number 2. Give it to us.
Yeah. Ignore the one I put there because I don't know what I was thinking. Actually, Smash Brothers Brawl. Because let's be real, I have to be real. I like Melee better, but before I knew about the better world and I ever owned Melee, Smash Brothers Brawl was the only one I owned.
Dude, Brawl has so much content, so much.
It really does. Like
I heard the story mode was pretty good.
It's got more than every other game combined.
I did so much in that game because there's so much to do.
And it's a good game.
I remember not, like, not looking online at like the secret characters and just doing like the adventure mode and unlocking Sonic and losing my fucking mind.
Yeah.
Like, I
So
remember that vividly. Like, oh my god.
Yeah. When that game came out, I'm gonna really show my age here, but
Your age.
I'm gonna show my age. I was 10 when I first heard about that game, 11 when it came out. So this is 10-year-old me. The first time I ever got so hyped up about a game that I was like losing my shit every time I heard a single thing about it. And then it finally came out, and like I brought my Wii over to my friend's place the first day it came out, and we unlocked every single character in one day. And in Brawl, that's actually like more difficult than in the new one, and actually more difficult than Melee. Really, like just straight up, that's how many fights we played was in that one day, and we unlocked almost all the characters. And it was just like I played that game so much for so many years afterwards, and it's kind of funny because now I can't.
No, he can't.
Just like I literally now that I play competitive Melee, I can't go back and like play casual Brawl. And no disrespect to someone who does or someone who plays Brawl competitively, but I it's kind of funny to me how I just can't.
Well, that's why they made Smash 4 to suit your casual needs.
Yeah.
No, Smash 4 is way more competitive than Brawl is. Come on now.
It is more competitive than Brawl is.
Debatable. And here's the thing, guys. Let's be real. There's one thing that Smash 4 has that Brawl and Melee and 64 don't, which makes it a superior game.
Wind boxes
Mega
everywhere.
Man. It has Mega Man.
Oh, wait.
But if it has Mega Man, it's better.
Yeah, but Brawl had Japan time.
You can get Mega Man mods for Brawl.
Oh, but that's not real Mega Man. That's mod.
That is one thing that Brawl remains good for to this day. Is there are mods everywhere. It was the easiest game to mod, like basically on any console. It was like the easiest game to mod.
Well,
and
it probably
modded
spawned the biggest fan-based fighting game, like fan-made fighting game, competitive scene.
Yeah, Project M, man.
I have to say, like, I don't know, Adam, you're like our fighting game guy. Like, can you think of any other fan-made fighting game that's bigger than Project M in the competitive scene?
Dive Kick.
What?
Dive Kick.
Dive Kick.
Smash Flash. Super Smash Flash.
Skullgirls too.
Skullgirls, but that's indie though. That's not fan-made.
Okay.
Counter-Strike Dota count?
Rainbow Edition of Street Fighter
people
2
fight over those
Championship
games.
Edition.
Okay.
The version of Street Fighter 2 that was all over the Mexican arcades and some of the southern United States, the Rainbow Edition. The, like, poverty bootleg board. That shit was insane. You guys got one of those at Games Exchange, except you got rid of it because it didn't work, I guess.
Yeah, it's one of the capacitors blew or something. I don't know.
Yeah, no. The answer is Aeon of Strife / Dota. Not a fighting game, but
yeah, so I was talking about like a fighting game in specific. But there you go. Those are
yes, I'm not arguing with you.
Yeah, exactly. Like my whole point was give credit where credit is due, right? Like Project M is huge. Like it's massive.
It's friggin' awesome.
And that's because of Brawl. That's because of Brawl. That wouldn't have been possible without Brawl. Like now that wouldn't have been possible without Melee. People can argue, but still, yeah. So gotta give credit where credit is due.
Eventually, it's just going to be shut down by Nintendo. The end.
Yeah.
Well, really, just in closing, I didn't really want to talk about Brawl, but I would be lying if I didn't include it on the list.
Fair
really.
enough. Yeah. No, that makes sense.
No, it's fair, man, and that's what this is for. Like, we've all admitted shitty games that we played and we liked, and
yeah,
that's just the way it works.
I mean, I guess like I'm also lying not putting Modern Warfare 2 on that list, but I really don't want to talk about that game.
Yeah, I was gonna put Call of Duty on my list. I mean, collectively, I've played all the games more than any individual game, but individually, maybe not.
I could say that Modern Warfare 2, Modern Warfare 2, definitely.
I played a shit ton even of Modern Warfare 2, man. I played a shit ton of that game.
Oh,
To this
man.
day, I still prefer World at War, but Modern Warfare 2 is the one I've played the most by far.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm pulling a Zach with World of Warcraft right now. Now that we talk about it, I want to play Call of Duty.
Call of Duty, man.
I've actually had those cravings for Modern Warfare 2 because I don't own the game anymore. But I'm just like, maybe it might be kind of fun to go back and look at it for
I've
fun.
got it.
Spoilers, it isn't.
Yeah,
It will be fun for it. Give myself 15 minutes to enjoy it, and then I'm gonna be so tired of it.
No, it's honestly, it is. I went back and it is just pure, like it's just modders trying to test out their stuff everywhere. Everybody's modded.
Yeah, I guess so.
Like that's all it is. Unfortunately. All right, that brings us to Adam for his number 2. Or sorry, President of Canada. My apologies.
His
I'm gonna
Eminence.
fire my cabinet master over that.
I'm getting extradited.
All right, so sheer number of hours, number 2 would be Perfect Dark on the N64, simply because
Oh, jeez. Yeah.
as a kid, got a game with a shit ton of extensibility and enough glitches to go through every fucking level 100 times and still see something new. Try to break the game in unique ways, all that fun stuff. Corrupting the cutscenes, tilting the cartridge, random shit. Endless hours of fun, and being a kid without money, the only fun in that regard.
That game, yeah, even the multiplayer, man.
Oh yeah, so rigging up the multiplayer to try and get down to like the number 1 rank was like that Skinner box bullshit, and like without other people to play with, that shit's tricky.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, the Dark Sims, and then just fucking. Ugh.
Yeah, so the fact that every FPS this day doesn't have the same level of customization and bots is kind of insulting.
True, eh?
Considering how
that
weak the
game-
N64 was.
That game was a pinnacle when it came to bots.
Yeah, the resolution was actually lower than GoldenEye because they needed the power.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, I remember I tried to go back and I'm like, man, this was like I'm actually surprised I didn't think to put that on my list, but I'll just join with you on that. But yeah, the amount of time put into it was insane. I tried to play it again. I don't know how we played that game. Like the controls are just one of the worst things I've ever tried to use. Using the C buttons to try to look around is just what the, and it's not even like to look around. One's to strafe, the other one's to look up.
Yeah.
Controls are just twacked. So it was definitely not as enjoyable as it was as a kid. But as a kid, it was one of the greatest things.
Oh, it was amazing, man. You'd sit in a group of friends, like maybe like the 4 of you, and just go for hours. I think I was in grade 9 when that game came out, maybe grade 10, and like you'd crash at your buddy's house and you just like all night like just play that game and do nothing else. Have like 8 Dark Sims in there with the 4 of you on a team and just trying to survive. Like
I do that with Melee now. Just go over to someone's house and just like stay there and play all night.
That was the only reason a lot of us wanted to we'd be looking for, like, oh, can I sleep over at this guy's house this week, Mom? Because we just wanted to play this game.
mm-hmm.
Sleepovers were the best.
Yeah, they were.
Back in the day.
Yo, sleepovers are still dope. We just don't call it that anymore.
Yeah.
Just don't call them that anymore. We call it crashing at someone's place.
I'm gonna crash. Yeah, there's actually a comedian I know that did a bit on that. Now you crash at someone's house.
Yeah.
Says, yo, can I crash at your place? Yeah. Can I sleep over? What are you talking about?
Sleep set.
Quick aside. You mentioned like how like the game is like feels so difficult to play now. I think that'd be a funny future topic to be like games that we used to love that we now hate.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. That's a good one.
That is a good one.
I can
Alright,
already think of my 5 right now.
And with that we got we're going to. Oh, I guess I got my number 2, and then we're on to our number 1s. My number 2 was going to be Melee, but I don't know. I think that would. I think that's just kind of a given.
It's not really a game anymore.
As you said,
Hey, lay
At
it
this
on
point-
me, bro.
you practice it more than.
It's not. We've gotten to a point where it's very cliche, but it's really not a game anymore.
It's become a lifestyle.
Yes.
Yeah.
A
So
lifestyle
I'm
that I
gonna-
still lose at.
I'm gonna say that's not it, but it is obviously on my top 10.
Thanks, Eric.
I rate your mic spam a 6 out of 10.
All right. Yeah. So I'm going to have to say that I think kind of brought up on the last game for most influential. Sorry, last podcast. Would have to be Resistance. Resistance Follow Man. The amount of time that me and my brother put into that game to try to break it and speedrun, and again, I didn't know it was called speedrun at the time, but to try to do everything we could in that game to break it, to complete levels faster, or even just for the fun of it, was I wish it tracked your hours because the amount of time we put into that was ridiculous.
Brody, what did you guys call it if not speedrun? I'm curious.
I didn't know what speed. We were just calling it glitching.
Ah, okay.
We were just glitching through the map.
I can't make fun of that.
Fast playing. Yeah, no, we were just trying to glitch through everything, and like as I said last week, I think we completed this one level that should take like 20-30 minutes within like 5 minutes, just by breaking through walls that you shouldn't. We had techniques how you like had to wiggle through walls and stuff and kind of slam yourself through certain corners. And it was interesting because what I noticed by playing this game so much is I think the developers intended for you to somehow break the game, because outside of a lot of the maps, they had these hidden teddy bears, and I actually noticed now because of that game. Play any game, there are teddy bears hidden throughout levels in a lot of games. Why is there a teddy bear here?
It's true.
And yeah, and I don't know if it's something that came from that or if it's just like maybe an inside joke amongst development studios all around. But like that's something I see a lot now, and I really noticed because of that game. There's just teddy bears everywhere outside of the maps where they're not accessible through regular gameplay, and a rainbow tree once as well too. But even in multiplayer maps, they had them outside. So they intended for you, or not intended, but they thought, hey, someone might break out of this. And so it was funny because they would always patch the games out to fix these kind of things, but there'd always be a new exploit that we could find to break through these maps and wreck noobs. But yeah, no, that game, the amount of time we put into it just trying to break it, it has to be. I wish I had some way to track it, but it was way up there. It was days upon days of like an entire summer every day. That's all we play. Like it's ridiculous. So that would be my number 2, Faux Show. That brings us to our number 1s then. Our number 1 most time-consuming game, the game that we put the most time into just throughout our childhood or even recently. Our number 1, Zach's going to start us off. Hit us with your number 1.
Number 1, without a doubt, Final Fantasy Tactics for the PlayStation.
No way.
I will rant and rave about how it is hands down my favorite video game of all times. I've played. I remember getting the PS1 and getting Final Fantasy VII for it, and obviously loving FF7. But then I remember getting Final Fantasy Tactics, and FF7 just became just nobody cares anymore. I remember getting that game and just being blown away. And playing through it, and I still play that game to this day. Once a year, I'll do a playthrough of that game. And just because of you can get 16 different characters. You can customize pretty much every way. You can do combats. You can do different style run-throughs. So I'm going to do a magic-only run-through this time. And the grinding aspect of it. I remember there's times I'm not exaggerating in the least, doing one single battle for 8 hours straight, just grinding, finding a way to break the system, to find the best way to grind, mastering every single job class for every single character, and just for hours on end playing that game. And then even I think it was a while ago, but they redid it for the PSP. They called it Final Fantasy Tactics War of the Lions, which was an updated version of the game. Unfortunately, there's a little bit when you're casting. It's got some frame rate issues. Other than that, though, fucking awesome. They added in cutscenes. They fixed a lot of the translation issues because I mean that game was pretty rushed in terms of translation. But yeah, just hours on end. And then I remember too being a kid and getting a Game Shark for my PS1. And there was a code that was called character editing, where you could actually take characters that weren't playable in the game, and change your characters to those, so you can like get even more classes that you didn't initially have access to, and like seeing the way they were all programmed and seeing what skills they actually had access to that you would have never seen in the game if you didn't have a Game Shark. And just like hours upon hours on end, and even just hanging out with my buddies and just strategizing and coming up with different ways we can do things. And I remember dreaming of the day that we were going to be able to like put our two teams head to head, and I remember we were able to do that with the PSP version. When the PSP version came out, they had a thing. It was funny. It was called Melee, but you could take two teams and fight, and just like doing that, even just battling our two teams together. Like, oh my god, that game will go down in history as my favorite game of all time. Nothing will ever top it. I will have never played a game as much as I played Final Fantasy Tactics. It's the best, and I don't know why they've redone friggin' every single Final Fantasy to date. They need to like actually do a fully remastered version of that game, or a proper sequel. None of this Final Fantasy Tactics Advanced bullshit. Like an actual proper Final Fantasy Tactics game. So good, so good.
If you ain't seeing a remake of 6 or 7, you're probably not seeing Tactics being redone. Oh wait, didn't they port that to iOS with improved graphics?
Yeah, they did 6. They have done 6.
No, I'm talking Final Fantasy Tactics, actually.
I'm pretty sure.
Not enhanced graphics. It's the same game. It's just with touch capabilities.
And crashy.
Yeah. But yeah, oh my god, that game, like, it's so good. And it was so dark, too. The story was actually so serious and dark. Like, it's not like save the girl, like everybody falls. No, it's like people fucking die, man. It's like Shakespearean. It's a tragedy. The whole thing's a tragedy.
Mm-hmm.
That game is the best. Yeah, number 1, Tactics.
Cool.
Mic drop.
Mic drop. All right. With that, we're gonna get Eric to pick it back up then, and give us his number 1 most time sunk game.
I battled with this for probably a couple minutes.
The struggle.
And as to what I was gonna choose is my number 1. It was a toss-up, but in the end, it goes to Grand Theft Auto Vice City.
Vice City.
That's fair. That's totally fair.
Yeah, I just spent so many hours playing that game, and that was my game to go to my friend's house, and we would all fucking hang out and sleep, have sleepover, and we would just play Vice City all night long because it was just endless fun, like, especially when you were, just running around in free mode or whatever. And then that was the first one that introduced all those crazy cheats, like the floating cars and, like, I don't know, there was 1,000 of them. But that was the first Grand Theft Auto. Well, no, the other Grand Theft Autos had cheats, but not to that. You know what I mean? Like, that was the first game with the better res graphics. And, it was a groundbreaking game in itself. That it consumed my life for probably a whole summer, like months.
Yeah, see, as a kid, I was never allowed to have those games. The only one I was ever allowed to have was there's one on the Game Boy Color. I forget which one it was. That's the only one I was allowed to have. So I feel like if I was allowed to have those, I'd be the same. A lot of time probably would have got sunk on those. Because the amount of time I'm putting into GTA 5 is quite a bit. Now, add in the fact that back then I probably wouldn't have had as many games.
Right.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, that I could definitely see that being a thing for sure. For sure.
Yep, that's it.
All right. So Charles then is going to finish off his list with his number 1 most time-consuming game.
Number 1 most time-consuming game for myself was League of Legends. I actually switched from League of Legends to Dota 2.
Heretic.
There.
Excuse
You
me.
made a good choice.
I made a better choice. League's just over too quickly. Mind you, I don't like it when games go for an hour and 44 minutes, but
A turtle?
oh my god. It was partly our fault too. We had a techies on our team. So we had no pushing engage, so we couldn't do anything about their turtle. But no, League of Legends was my previous time-consuming game before that, and I've spent a lot more hours in League than I have in Dota. But that's because I've been playing League for like 2 years, and then I played Dota for half a year. So.
That time will get made up right quick.
Oh, really, really quickly, really easily. In fact, during this podcast, I had people invite me to play Dota. So, but yeah, League.
Way more important, though.
Oh yeah, you guys way more important.
Yeah, so League, yeah, that makes sense that both Dota and League are in there. I'm
What
sure
was a
League,
really
Dota will soon
time-consuming
surpass League.
It's one of those things, though. I've always wanted to try them, but you can't just try a MOBA.
Well, no, because you have to learn everything.
No, you can't.
Yeah.
Everything.
I'm learning
tried.
that as I go into League, and I kind of really haven't played it much because I'm so bad.
But if you've got friends that are just supporting you through it, once you get to that point where you've learned everything, you're like, well, fuck it, might as well just play this game only for the next year because I know everything about it now.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, that makes sense. MOBAs everywhere.
Yep.
All right, Brayden, you want to finish us off with your number 1?
Okay, it has been mentioned already, but my number 1 is Pokemon.
Yep.
And I mean, maybe I haven't dedicated as much time to it as Zach has, but he also has 12 years on me, so.
True.
So,
That's very true.
like, I started it at this game in like grade 1, so that was 11, 12 years ago. And I got so into it for at least 7 or 8 years. Like, it was all I could think about or talk about, and I was watching the show, getting the toys, playing the games, everything. And of course that fad ended, but in that time I played all of the Pokemon games that were out so much and so dedicatedly. That's not a word, but that's what I was going for. And now I basically the reason I still go back to that game is because of I'm sure there's other games that people can argue, but of the games that I have played, I can have the most variety on each run through of the that I pick. One run I can run. Let's just take one Pokemon game. I can run that game like Ruby. I'll run it through one way. Cool. Run it through a completely different way, maybe with some sort of imposed challenge or type specific or single Pokemon runs, or like all kinds of different ways to play this game, and that is the reason I keep going back to it. I have never been too interested in, like, honestly, I don't even care about the post game. Like, I don't care about competitive or training Pokemon up really to really high levels or anything. I just want to play through. I just play through those games just as many times as I feel like. It seems like I always have some kind of Pokemon run happening on some game at all times that I'll just randomly go to and just, beat a gym or something. It's just.
Well, you can do that, right? That's a good thing about that game. Like, so you were saying, like, different challenges. I did people were thinking I was great. I literally did on X recently. I did Pikachu only, like no other Pokemon other than like an HM slave, just Pikachu. That's it. It's the only Pokemon I had. Like, no other ones in my party. The only time I ever had another Pokemon in my party was if I needed an HM.
Yep.
Other than that, though, just Pikachu. And I did it. And it was fucking hard, but I did it. Why? Because it was just like, I'm like, fuck it. I want to do something different and have fun with it.
And it's so weird, especially Nuzlocke. I don't know if there's anybody who doesn't know what a Nuzlocke run is. Basically, like, your Pokemon die, they're dead. You can only get one Pokemon per route kind of thing.
Yep.
And it's not to the point of being creepy, but I almost have like an emotional attachment to them. Like, when they die, I'm like, damn it.
Yeah, it's a little creepy.
Friggin',
And then Pokemon was played by a fish.
like, Man, friggin' Ass Clown, he was my favorite. But yeah, that's the reason I sunk so much time into Pokemon is just because of how many different ways I can play it, and just the fact that I almost always have a run of Pokemon happen. And it's always fun every time somehow. It just happens to be fun.
I agree.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, that's true, and that's why I said I'd be surprised if there wasn't anyone else with it on their list.
Yeah.
For sure. All right, President of the Canadias, what is your number one?
Well, obviously Canada's national game, Farmville, from the United States.
Yes.
I was going to say cross country Canada.
That game.
Oregon Trail.
Yes.
Or
That was a great game.
I'm getting that World of Warcraft feeling for Oregon Trail.
Well, in actual seriousness, I guess in terms of total hours, that would be Street Fighter 4, just because come home from work, play a bunch of games, watch TV, go to bed for a long time because co-ops and internships and stuff. Very easy to take with you.
Yep.
And that's that.
That's a good game, man. I need to get into it. Even last night playing you, like, I mean, I know you weren't playing your like main characters, but even still, it's like just like when you start learning the meta game of that and like starting to practice like habits and breaking bad habits and stuff, like it's so like that's one thing like that's like I find with Street Fighter, because we have always the Street Fighter set up at every Let's Play, and like look at last night, there was just us two. And it's like, I find it's like a lot of the Melee kids, or sorry, well, a lot of the Smash kids, they're so intimidated by it. They always watch, and they're always like, oh man, it looks so sick, looks so cool, like look at that. But they're so intimidated by it. And
I'm terrible at it.
Why. Like,
I'm literally so bad at it.
so am I. So am I. But I still play it because it's fucking awesome. Like when I think of fighting games, like I don't like the first game to this day, and I play more Smash probably right now than I do Street Fighter. But if you were to say like just tip of the tongue fighting game, I'd be like Street Fighter in a heartbeat.
Really, me too. I don't even play Street Fighter. I would say that.
But it's like that game, man. It's so good, so good.
It's just so good.
Adam, I went home last night too and just like went on the wiki and like read everything about Violent Ken. They need to bring him in.
Oh my god.
It's Violent Ken, man.
It's not happening because SNK doesn't make real games anymore.
I know, but still, he looks so cool. Like he's just like, oh, he's so arrogant.
He's just Ken, but black with a white afro.
No, he doesn't really have an afro. It's like just spikier and down.
Oh, he doesn't have an afro. Okay, hold on a sec.
Please hold while the President of Canada disproves your point.
In certain depictions, yes, it's kind of afro-ish, but it's spiky. He's got straight hair.
I'll leave it to you guys to decide what he has. That's all.
I think it looks like he just got electrocuted.
Yeah, see, it's not an afro.
It kind of looks like he's a Russian with the hat.
Earlier. I'm sorry, President, but
I'm throwing this into the showcase for our
you.
viewers so you can see what picture we're looking at here.
I'm gonna find.
So if you're in the Google Plus portion of this show,
I can't find the version with the. Oh, there we go.
Anyways, Violent Ken, I think he's cool as shit. Just because they've always done so much with Ryu and Akuma and stuff. Like, fucking Ken Masters. He's the shit. He's beaten Ryu more times than Ken. Ken has beaten Ryu more times than Ryu's beaten Ken.
Yeah, but not
is there like an official record on there somewhere?
It's
No.
like, yeah, well,
official with Capcom? No.
Oh, yeah, you expect Capcom to do that, but it's like compiled stuff.
That makes sense. Street Fighter.
Anyways, yeah, Street Fighter's awesome. Anyway, I've talked about it on the show too. Anybody who hasn't watched the Assassin's Fist, do it. It was for a fan-made project. So good.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, good.
All right, I guess that brings me back to me. complete full circle. My number one most time game that's consumed most of my time. I think Sarah will agree with this. Has to be Warcraft 3. Hundo P Warcraft 3.
Hundo P.
Yeah, as a kid, like that was, it was just so versatile. I think she ranted about this last week. It's just so versatile, and like Dota was born from it. I played a lot of Sheep Tech, but besides the original, like the actual story being great, the game was really in depth. You could play through it so many different ways. You could, depending on how maybe you wanted to try different things with your bases and that, and then being able to go online and do that same thing. It's the same kind of thing as StarCraft. Like it's an RTS. So many different ways you could try to play against an enemy, and have so many ways to counteract that. It was just so there's a lot of learning in that, and then just all the different games people could make. And then adding on to that, you can make your levels. As I said last week, my brother would make maze runners, and that's adding into his time in this game because he's making these levels, testing them out, and then putting them online and seeing what people say and getting feedback. And then so I actually almost put more time into Sheep Tag than I did the actual game, to be honest. I freaking love Sheep Tag. Anybody that doesn't know what it is, go on YouTube and watch some Warcraft 3 Sheep Tag gameplay. The funnest stuff in the world.
I spaced out and didn't hear Warcraft for a second there, and I was like, what the fuck has Brody been doing?
He's been playing a lot of Goat Simulator.
Yeah. But Sheep Tag and Warcraft 3. Warcraft 3 was just I still I go back every once in a while and play it just because of how fun it is. And the story again is super good too. There's a lot going on in the lore. But I love those, and then of course getting the expansion Frozen Throne added on to the amount of time I put into it. But just throughout every other game I was playing, be it Diablo, be it Halo, I would always go back and play Warcraft 3. Just because that was my go-to game. That's every other game I had as a kid. They would just be fillers before I would go back and play that game. It's a lot of freaking time. And again, if we had tracks on that would be the amount of hours in that would be months probably.
I'm sometimes glad.
He's glad.
Oh, poor Braden.
I
totally agree, bud. Totally agree.
At least last time it cut out when I said I didn't like Zelda and nobody got mad.
Oh, wait, what? Don't die to fire!
Charles is like, put it down!
It's okay. Not everyone can have taste.
Without getting into detail and anything though, I do have 2 honorable mentions. I'm not going to go into detail about the games, but honorable mentions for me, though, time-consuming games. Diablo 2, because that was mentioned by Brody. Diablo 2 for sure. And then another game, obviously people, you should know, it's called Chrono Trigger. Those 2 other games too. Not having a lot of money and just having those games, I was happy as a pig in shit. I could play those games even still to this day.
Yeah. If we're doing honorable mentions, Minecraft.
There you go. That's another one.
Honorable mentions to all of Zone Archives games. For absolutely no reason. I just wanted to say that shit.
Honorable mention for me would be to Sonic Adventure 2, because when I was 7 or 8, I'm like, one day I'm going to beat this game 100%. I still haven't done it, but I've been trying.
Oh god, I'm old. It keeps happening every couple of days.
How do you think I feel?
Old.
I was pulling gray hairs out of my beard today. It was fucked.
Yep. I'm the oldest one here, so I don't want to fucking hear it from anybody.
Dude, I've been president longer than you've had a nation.
What?
Exactly.
Did you throw a voice changer on?
You're now noticing that? It's been that way for 10 minutes.
I am merely your god.
Are we a voice changer?
Oh, that was pretty good. Nice.
Yeah,
Yeah, man.
No, I don't have a voice changer at all. Just a lot of
he just hit puberty.
His balls just dropped. That's all.
Cool. Well, I guess I think that that wraps up our number ones then. And for our viewers, if you want to put in the comments section below on YouTube, your top 3 games that you put the most time into, whether you like them or not. We'd love to hear from you. And next time you can join us. We do it every Monday at 7 p.m. So we're a little late today, but at 7 p.m. EST. Join up, listen to, just throw us on the background, whatever. Join in the conversation. We just love any way you guys can join us as we talk about games and the new news and some opinion pieces at the end. So I think we're gonna wrap it up. I'm gonna go down the line and say thanks to all the fellas that joined us this week. See if they have any closing words. So thanks, Zach, for joining up.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for having me. Going to give out a shout out to my boy LP Taz because he always says he watches us. Probably our only person who follows us. So, big ups, buddy. See you Sunday.
You underestimate us. And next thing.
No, but he follows us. Sorry, he follows us like all the time, though.
Yeah, no,
he watches us all the time.
We've got the guy that founded America, Eric. Thanks.
You're all welcome.
a fellow president.
The fellow president.
It's like he's saying, "I am Erica,"
I am.
and then he made a country out of it.
That's pretty good.
It was pretty cool.
He shortened it to Eric though because 2 syllables is just too
Oh
much.
yeah, I
But that's-
call my friend Erica Eric because it's like so much work, 2 syllables.
We're gamers.
Yep.
We're lazy.
Very
Yeah.
appreciative of that.
You know what you really call that person? Freedom.
No, 2 syllables, man. We can't say it. 1 syllable only.
Free. And next to the freedom there, we have Charles. Thanks for coming out, Charles.
Hey, thanks for having me again.
The triumphant return of Charles.
I'm so glad to be
Again.
back.
Yeah, it's good to have you back. For sure. Oh, I forgot to mention as well too. You can underneath their names you can see you can follow Charles at it looks like a Cruels now, a new one there.
Trolls.
And, Trolls.
Trolls.
And you can watch him on the Twitches /Trolls, same as you can see right under his name there. And sorry, back to Zach. If you want to follow him on Twitter, go to @ZacharyHart.
And sometimes I Twitch random of me playing Dying Light, and I'm really bad at it.
There we go. And Eric, I think is Eric Miller 3.
That's it.
On the Tweeter Twatters.
He's our
Yeah,
famous
you-
guy.
And our famous guy. And then we have Braden. Thanks for coming out again, Braden. Join us again if you have any social networks you want to shout out. Thanks.
You can follow my Twitch at RageCage64. Right now I'm not streaming because I'm sort of holding out until I get a much better capture card.
Okay. Is 64 the year you were
Flat out.
born, or are you just trying
That's
to be sexist?
that's always been my favorite number because Nintendo 64 was my first console.
Okay.
So it's
We
just
get it. We get
it's like my default number.
Fair enough.
Wow, now I
Really
feel
So when they release the Nintendo 256, you're gonna have to switch over or something?
I'm always gonna be a purist.
Oh, I love this guy. He just takes it right on the chin.
Yeah.
As fast as I can think of something witty.
Yeah, fair enough. And right beside him, we have the honor of having the President of Canada just joining us for 2 weeks straight now. Thanks, President of Canada. Can we follow you on Twitter anywhere?
What? Are we starting now?
Charles Lindbergh.
No, you can't. But remember, always use AdBlock.
Oh, that's good.
Oh, God.
And I'm going to try
Rider
it.
tomorrow.
Hope I don't leg out, but throw my video back on just for a sec so you can see underneath my face here. I'm Leafex, host of the show here, or Brody, as you'll hear them call me. You can go on to
Who's
youtube.com/.
Leafex?
Yeah, Gamers Roundtable Show.
Hashtag who is Leafex?
Gamers Roundtable Show to see all of our past videos. They get uploaded automatically. Feel free to go back, see all the cool things that we talked about or yelled at each other about. And make sure you join us next time. Follow us so you can see all the stuff we do in the future. Go on to Google Plus one us and circle us. So you can get invited to all of our future episodes. But thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week on Is Terraria Good or Not between Eric and Charles. Let them do that. So thanks for joining us, and we'll hope to see you soon. As always, keep gaming hard.
No matter who argues.
Spider-Man's better than Batman! Spider-Man's better than Batman!